Good morning and welcome to week 2. At this point, you should have finished all the activities in week 1, including posting to the discussion board and reading the resources and viewing the videos, as well as working on obtaining your child for the SEA assignment. As we move into week 2, we are developing a firmer understanding of what language is and how it develops. You'll be looking at the theories of language and learning how cognitive development builds a foundation for language. By the end of the week, you should be able to define cognitive development and how it builds a language, a foundation for language. You should know the various theories of language development, and you should have a very good understanding of what is included in Brown's Stage 1 language development. You should continue the reading in your text with chapters 3 and 4. Continue to keep up to date on the discussion board. Make sure that your responses are rich and thoughtful, and where possible, reference where you are getting your information from. You might start working on your theory reflection paper, although it's not due till week 5. There is a practice simulation, which I will explain, and certainly you want to be working on your oral language calendar, which is due at the end of week 3. We'll review the weekly checklist at the end of this video. So let's take a look at our activities and assignments. Hopefully this will help keep you on task. I'm going to scroll down and kind of work backwards. You've got your oral language calendar ideas. Now remember, you're submitting this the end of week 3, which is actually June 1st. And an easy way to know when assignments are due is if it's due week 3, it's due at the end, the last day, June 1st. If it's due week 5, it's due the end, June 15th. And finally, the SEA due week 7 is due June 30th. Hopefully that clarifies things for you. Discussion board, you want to not wait till the end of the week to post, because then you are holding up your colleagues. They aren't able to respond to you. So let's take a look at the oral language calendar again. This should include between 20 and 25 activities that will engage students in oral language. Your target audience can be your own classroom or the parents of your students. Either way is fine. You can even possibly do a combination. Just make sure that you include what's to be done at home and what's to be done at school. At least 20 different activities are what I expect to see. So even though you may repeat an activity in the course of a month, I'm looking for 20 different activities on your calendar. You have a choice. Your focus can be grammar, figurative language, multiple meaning words, conversational skills, articulating understanding, phonemic awareness, rhyming. There are many ways that you can go with this. Just make sure that every activity has a title and that you include a description of the activities on a separate page, which I would assume is needed for clarity and for somebody to be able to replicate. I've given some ideas in this folder, so let's take a look. Again, your description, and just make sure that this is colorful, fun to look at, and fun to read. I've given you some websites, and I'm not going to go over them in depth right now. I just want you to get an idea of what they are. The first one has oral language activities that develop reading readiness, and this is from a website called Literacy Connections. So the reason I'm actually reviewing this with you right now is if you're not familiar with this site, this might be something you want to scoop or bookmark, or if you're making your own, scoop it, put it in there. It is a very, very good site, and you, aside from the language activities, you'll find some other useful things as well. Activities that encourage speech and language. Again, this is from the American Speech Language Hearing Association. I especially like this because they divided into sections for age. So make sure that your activities are age appropriate. Our next site, American Speech and Hearing Association, or same site. I think I went to that twice. Let's go back. Maybe I have that in there twice. Yes. Okay. Language development activities. Another nice site, and you can click on these and get ideas for different activities. There are quite a lot of them. Some more ideas for language development. And again, everything is linked. Lots of other sites, so the possibilities are endless. And then I've included some calendar samples. What I want you to understand is that it does not mean that these are perfect. These are things that have been submitted in the past, and I purposely chose some old ones. Don't want you to know who the students are. And you can see this one includes its first grade, so you want to tell me the grade level. You can see it's attractive. And you can see that the activities are explained with sources, and nice that they did it to accompany the reading series with lots of explanation. So I'd say this one is pretty good. The next one, not as colorful, but notice it is for 7th grade. So we want to be appropriate, but I think 7th graders still might enjoy some color or some background. Now notice, ask me, students will use this tool to review 7th grade. Well, if all I have is this, I really don't know what this is. However, we do have some definitions, and I do have ask me, and it does explain. So again, this is doing what the assignment asks for the most part. Now our last sample is grade 6 to 8, first grade. And you can see this one is divided into whole and small group activities, and they are all explained. So that gives you a good idea, I hope. All right, let's go back. Went back a bit too far. And so we've got our oral language calendar ideas. Remember, since you're working on your calendar, you might not be ready to start this, but just keep in mind that you need to find your article, which is something you might do, and get that out of the way. We also have a simulation assignment this week. It is a very, very simple one. It is not a required assignment, but it is wonderful for you to do for practice, so I encourage you to submit. When you click on this folder, you see it says watch the video below, and it's an adorable short video called All Done. All I want you to do is tell me, is the child functioning in early or late stage 1 based on his expressive and receptive language? And then support your decision with things that you already know about Brown's stages, about Brown stage 1, okay? So to submit, you click here. You can write your submission or attach a file. This one's so short you could actually write it right in here, and you click submit. I'll give you comments, but I won't be grading it. You also have your discussion board for this week. which deals with how are speech and language separate but related aspects of communication. You can either click here to access that, or you can click on discussions board on the left side and get there that way. Don't ignore your readings and resources. These are really important. You've got some documents on Brown's stages of language development, which will be very helpful. A short article on the theories of language development. Brown Stage 5. Oh, this one, Brown Stages of Language Development, is a website. And when you go there, you won't get to this right away, which is the Brown Stages where I am. So what you're going to do is just put in the search box Brown Stages, because every time it seems to open up to a different area. But this will get you there quickly. Or at least it did for me. Brown Stages, and you can see it's even highlighted here. So it's Brown Stages of development, and if you click on that, it takes you to where you want to be. And you can get some very good ideas about, right now we're dealing with stage 1, so you might focus on that first. You also have 2 short videos, one on the 4 stages in acquiring language, very good, and also Born to Talk, or text, part 2 for you to listen to, again short, the theories of language development. Well, I hope that helps to keep you on task for week 2. If you have questions or concerns, I'm an email or a phone call away. Remember, you've got my contact information, and I've been emailing back and forth with many of you, so I appreciate that. Take care and have an incredible week.